not just stories in the dark. Static crackles, a voice leaves a mark. Step closer, the truth's not far. Monsters awaken where nightmares are. Late night tuning in again. A voice calls out from deep within. Every tale crawls beneath my skin. The hunt begins, let the screams begin. Monsters unleashed, no turning back. They walk in echoes, they paint the black. From shadowed woods to basement doors, they live in tales and something more. Clicking claws in the hallway crawl. Footsteps where there should be none at all. Breath on glass, but you're alone. Or are you just a voice through the phone? Whispers say it's just pretend, but stories never really end. When silence breaks, the fear ascends. They're not inside, they're in your head. Monsters unleashed, no turning back. They speak in tongues, they leave no track. Through coke tapes and haunted streams, they feed on fear, they live and scream. They live and scream. The creak, the sigh, the static bite. Each episode, another bite of something wrong, just out of sight. Listener discretion is advised. Monsters unleashed, you call their name. You played the tape, you're part of the game. From every tale, the darkness grows. You thought you knew, but now it knows. Monsters unleashed, and you press play. Now they know you. They're on their way.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Monsters Unleashed podcast. I'm telling you, that video, when that Bigfoot sticks his tongue out there at the end, it gets me every time. It really does. But we've got an exciting show. We're broadcasting from Kentucky. We're over here next to the land between the lakes. I'm at my daughter's house right now, but we've spent 5 days. That's 5 days in the LBL investigating. And I have to say that it's absolutely been a pleasure to visit that area. We have had so much stuff going on. I have over 500 gigs of videos that we have taken and probably close to 1,000 photos. So this is going to be interesting, getting all this stuff set up and edited to get these videos out. But I would say we'll have 6 or 7 YouTube videos, an hour and a half, 2 hours long, at least. So it's going to be, well, tonight we have Trisha Collins, my co-host. We have her husband there. We're going to call him Doug. Hello, Doug. We have Donna Coates up here. Donna's no stranger to the show. She's been here several times now. And we have our special guests. We have James and Leslie. And we interviewed James and Leslie at a cemetery there. Well, James had an encounter, and we'll get to that here shortly. But how's everyone's week went?
Going good.
It's been pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ours
it
is
is.
crazy.
Very busy.
Yeah, We have walked so many miles, and I don't know. Me and my wife, we're broke out with something. I don't know what we got into. We got little bumps all over our legs and arms and stuff, and it's itchy.
I got bit by a spider.
Yeah, she like I've probably spent $60 in hydrocortisone cream and all different kinds of stuff. We don't know what it is. So we got bit by something. I think we got bit by the Dogman bug. I really do.
Yeah.
Uh, it's pretty. Hey,
You got so close, you got the fleas.
we got your number one fan in chat here, Donna.
Oh, hello, Toe. Hi, Carl.
But yeah, we got an exciting show tonight. Not only it's going to be exciting to hear James's story here and stuff, and we'll talk about some things that happened there because it's just wild, Donna. It was just absolutely wild what we found out afterwards. And and I know that I'm giving away some secrets on the YouTube videos, but that's okay. This is our show too, and it's right here on YouTube. It's for our viewers. So we're gonna let out a few of the little secrets and stuff like that. Show some pictures that are very interesting, and I'm going to tell the story to what happened yesterday. We'll talk about that. So let's get into James and Leslie. James has got an interesting story, and it happened near a cemetery. So, James, if you would like to share that, again, I know I interviewed you, but I mean it's a very interesting story. So, furthermore, I mean, just go ahead and jump right on in.
All right. Well, I got to sit up. Oh, well, we were all there minus Miss Donna, the Henson Cemetery. It's up on a hill. I went there late 2009 with some friends before I was going to the port. And it was late night, and we were exploring, going out, checking things out, see what we could see and find. We found this cemetery. We're like, oh, you could tell where a house used to be. Well, this obviously probably the family cemetery. Mom, dad, daughter. And yeah, I'll maybe shorten it up a little bit, but as I'm looking toward the water, I hear a rather unnatural noise. I don't, if you want to call it a bellow, growl, something or another, down towards where the water was at, and it was more cleared off then than it was now. And as I hear that, I see this bit of wind in the edge start moving towards me. And I was a bit scared, I'll use that word, and thinking, what in the world is that? I've done heard that noise. The wind's moving like that, but it wasn't like the wind was moving all of it. It was what we call like a dust devil, where we I think it was Mike mentioned, maybe call it the Tasmanian devil. The disturbance was just centralized in one spot coming up through the edge of the woods. And as it got closer, I thought maybe it made a few more noises and stuff. But then I felt like I need to get out of here. So I started backing up towards the car. And once I backed, literally, while I was walking backwards, I backed into my car. I turned around, got in, and I left. I got out of there as fast as I could. And I just, it had me all just, whew. It was something else, to say the least. One of the scariest experiences of my whole life. A quick telling of it.
Yeah, I can believe it from everything that we've seen in there, and Patricia and Doug there will tell us that we seen some pretty scary shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Just
But
watching James's body language when we were interviewing him and seeing his wife just focus on this one area, and James would turn and he would point to the same area his wife was looking at. And you could see, like, and I was a pretty good distance from him. I could see the cold chills on his arms, which was making me turn and look at that same area. And it was definitely something else. It
yeah,
was it was very, very eerie. Um it was definitely an experience just in the interview.
so tell you what, right here, let's stop right here and let's hear. We got sponsored by a company, C&G Embroidery, out of Clarksville. Very, very wonderful people, family owned, veteran owned,
Yeah.
and so let's show you a little bit about them. And I actually did a song for them, and I felt led to do it because they're interesting people, and they're such sweet. They're down home Christians, and I think that they honestly deserved it. So this video was made for TikTok, so it's a little bit blowed up on the screen. I have to go back in and redo it, but you can still see it and you can still hear it. So I'm going to play it anyways. But here we go. Let's play it.
Out in Clarksville where the needles spin, you can hear that rhythm of work again. Every thread they pull is a story told, stitching legends in red, white, and gold. There's a flag on the wall and dust on the floor, a radio humming old songs of war. Cindy and Nick just keep that pace, hand in hand in a small town place. They don't talk big, they don't need the praise, just a steady hand and honest days. Every logo, every name they press, built with faith and nothing less. Stitched in legend, made with pride, thread of hope in a veteran's life. From the woods we roam to the merch we wear, Hanji's touches everywhere. Yeah, stitched in legend, thread by thread, stories woven from the things we've said, from monsters unleashed to the hearts we wed. Stitched in legend. There's a hum of a machine and the smell of steam, where craft and faith build every dream. They sew our patches and print our signs, turning wild ideas into pride that shines. From the first shirt worn to the last one sold, they treat each order like it's stitched in gold. In a world of cheap and factory made, they're the real thing that never fades. They don't just make merch, they make meaning. Every thread a memory, every stitch a promise. Can't slide solo bills gently. Stitched in legend, made with grace, hands that honor this holy place. From Clarksville light to the mountain's edge, Angus faith won't ever wedge. Yeah, stitched in legend, thread by thread, their work will outlive all the trends ahead. From the heart of the South where the prayers are said, stitched in legend. From Clarksville to woods we tread, from Clarksville to woods we tread. From Clarksville to woods we tread.
Stitched in legends.
Yes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I thought the song was a nice thing for him too. Like you, Donna, I think it made her cry a little bit when I did your song.
Absolutely. I love mine. You do a wonderful job. And everybody that's heard mine, honestly,
my family just comes to tears, and they're like, "Oh my God, he did it perfect." He's like, you told his story perfect, and so I appreciate.
Yeah, that's what I said. Now, when you go on these podcasts, you ain't even got to tell your story. You just play them the song.
That's true. That is true.
And, yeah.
I love the.
So,
I just love the sound. The music is one. I mean, everybody, you do a great job. You're very talented. You are.
well, I can't take all the credit for it. I do go in and I give it the idea of what I want. I do use AI to generate these songs. When it's someone like you or someone like CNG, there's a lot of information online. And so I'm able to find that information and plug that in. But then I have to tell it how I want the song to be sung, and give it hints of, I want it country, I want it this style, I want it with these words included into the song, and then it generates it, and it's not free, and it's real cheap either. But the thing of it is, I mean, you do it because you want to do it, and I've done several for our channel, and they're pretty good songs. I would say they're radio quality songs. And if
Absolutely.
anyone wants to hear a song about Monsters Unleashed on the radio, I've got a few of them, But we intend on putting together an album and having that album for sale, for our fans. And when I set up the Patreon page, when someone, and that's going to be coming soon, we're going to have a Patreon page, and all the money raised in that Patreon, none of it's going into our pockets directly. We're going to take that money, and that's going to help fund our endeavors to go on these excursions and stuff. I know that I've spent probably close to $1,200 this past week.
Oh yeah,
And
I know. It is expensive.
gas, food, and hotel expenses, and just all the other little stuff. It's expensive. It's really expensive, but it was worth it. From what I seen this week, it was absolutely worth it. But back to James and Leslie there. So Leslie, when you came up, when we got there to the cemetery, you walked straight up to it. Now my wife has pictures of you, because my wife was walking around taking photos and stuff, And I mean, you just seen her; she was bouncing from all over the place. So I actually have a picture of you taking the pictures that you took. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, that's good.
you were hyper focused on that cemetery. We noticed you hardly took your eyes off of it. Did you see anything? Did you see anything?
Didn't see. I was more like sensing it because those of you may not know, I am what's called a sensitive or a psychic knower. So I was instantly drawn to that area, and during the interview, I would like my whatever would point me in the direction. But when I got up there, I heard a little girl. Like as little kids, they sang little nursery rhymes and stuff if they're outside playing or whatever. And it kept saying, "Find a penny, pick it up. Find a penny, pick it up." And I said, "There's a little girl here." And then she loved daisies. Like she loved to pick the wild yard or whatever. And I was like, I think her name's Lucy or something with an L. Well, reading that cemetery book, that was true. And then I kept hearing like Harold or Hank or something with the H sound. And then the father's middle name starts with an H. There was something there beyond their grave. There was something right there in their area. And I just started snapping pictures. So I sensed it, but I didn't see it.
Right. And so you sent Trisha the pictures. So and Trisha, tell us what happened when you got the pictures.
Well, when the interview was over, I don't remember if it was me that approached Leslie or she approached me. we met actually right in front of that grave, and she was talking about the sun and like the shade and how something about it was really weird. And she showed me this picture to kind of explain it to me. And I just saw this black blob, and it just looked weird. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. I said, I'm not gonna say anything out loud because everybody was I don't want to say scared, but everybody was having some sort of eerie feeling being there. So I was like, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
get
they're
her
on it.
to email this to me. And she did. And I came home, and my dad had left the house to go back to the hotel, and I'm just laying in bed, and I'm like, well, I better start going through some pictures and just, seeing what I can see. So that's the first picture I went to. So I zoomed in. Well, first I circled that black blob, and then I screenshotted the original picture, and I zoomed in a couple of times, and I was like, this is something. So on that first zoom, I screenshotted it again, and I could see an ear, and I could see eyes, and I could see the nose. I'm like, well, this thing's not standing. Whatever this is, isn't standing. So I zoomed again, and you could see like a back, like its back, like a dog, how it's on all four paws. You see its head, you see its ears, and then you can see its back. That's what I saw. So I called my dad, and I was like, I'm sending you this picture. I think we've got a picture of a dog man. I said, I believe it's on all fours. And I looked, and I was like, well, this could be a bear. No, this was not a bear. The ears were too pointy to be a bear. The snout was too long to be a bear. There's no black panthers in the LBL.
Excuse me.
It looked bigger than a normal sized wolf. I bet you if it was standing up, it probably would have been about, I'd say about 7.5 to 8 foot tall. That's how long the body appeared to be. And it was like it was prowling down on all fours, like it was just waiting for a moment to just lunge out and go for it. So I was very, very, very thankful that Leslie sent me that picture, and I was very shocked to see what I saw because just James's body language, the whole interview, it was very intense. He was comfortable talking, but his body language said he was uncomfortable. And it was weird because every time he would turn to point at the cemetery, he was pointing at the exact location where this thing was at. Leslie was looking at the exact location where this thing was at. My dad was diagonal in front of this thing, and when he would point behind him, he was pointing at the exact location where this thing was at. And every time James would turn and look, I would turn and look because I knew he was feeling eerie. You could see it. Like I said, you could see chill bumps in his arms. Like the energy was making the hair stand up in his arms. I mean, I could be wrong, but James, was that how you was feeling?
Yeah, that's how it was. I think even
Yeah.
after the interview, it was still doing it. And I don't know if it was on video or somebody took a picture to where I was standing there and I had goosebumps all up and down my arm. Hair was on the end. And that was even after the video, us looking around and talking.
And we also had Mark Roberts with us from Night Vision Paranormal. And my husband had noticed even Mark was rubbing his arms, and he was very like alert, watching around and everything. And so I thank you, Leslie, for sending me that picture. And it's very exciting when you're able to just snap a random picture and catch something in it.
Yeah, I've had
And
the picture up on the screen this whole time. And you
yeah,
can see everybody listening here, they can see. Now
and
I
when
can see a face and a long snout in there and eyes.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can see that it's crouched down. Now, not to cut you off, Trisha, but this whole time we're sitting there. We all looked at the graves when we first walked up there and stuff. There's 3 graves, uh, a father, a mother, and a daughter. And the daughter died in 1914. She was 6 years old. The the mother and the father died 4 years later, and they died 4 days apart. So there's been
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
tragic happen there, right
yes,
there. There's something
Yeah.
tragic, and I'm very, very, very. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling on my words because I like have this feeling that there's something about that story that I would love to find out. And I'm going to try to do everything in my power. I have a book of all the cemeteries, well, most of the cemeteries in the LBL, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of investigating, and maybe even if I can hire someone to trace that family to someone alive today and see if they have any stories about what happened back there, because I'd like to know. I'd really like to know, see if they have any ancestors now that are still alive. I mean, we're talking this is 100 years ago, over 100 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So, but we have somebody in chat from London. We have someone in
Oh,
chat from London, and he said that he had some really interesting paranormal stories and stuff like that going on. So I know you can hear me. His name in here is JNR. I sent you our email. If you contact us, what we'll do, we'll email you back and we'll arrange a time to get you on the show today. We have so much content today that it's not possible that we could get you on here tonight, but we will schedule you a time to get you on the show. That's not a problem. We like to open our show up to everyone and stuff. Just tonight, with everything that's going on, we don't have enough time to cover something new at this current
no.
time.
When I say we've been busy, we've been busy. We've been up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning going through stuff. We're all exhausted. I know me and my dad are exhausted. Um, we've walked so much, our feet are sore. They're ate up with something. I was bit by a spider. Um, my poor kids, they really haven't seen much of their mom. Um, it's been busy. It's been real busy.
Yeah, it surely has. Um, so James, like you sent us this, and this was our second day in the park. We
yeah.
have had this whole time we've been in here. We've had basically a guide, and we have had Mark Roberts from Night Vision Paranormal that he has taken us around all over the park. Mark's an extremely nice guy. He's a retired deputy sheriff, and he knows his stuff. He's been investigating the LBL now for a while. He's been boots on the ground for 3 years, but it went beyond that. Further back, even while he was a sheriff, he was still investigating things that would happen, that was happening in this area. And he's very knowledgeable. When he sees a podcast come across YouTube, the man is he's got his pencil and his paper. He's writing down stuff. He's taking screenshots of areas and stuff like that. He's going to Google Earth and he's zooming in. He's finding this. He's finding that, and he's finding these locations. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I had been doing
Yeah. James
past
does
couple
that.
of days. Now I sent Trisha, without getting into new information,
No.
mhm.
Another
That we're
from the
yeah.
to look at.
Oh
Without
yeah, good.
getting
good. But we have been boots on the ground too. Trisha and my wife both know what it feels like to work in a brand new pair of combat style boots, brand new pair, without walking around for a day or so in them around the house. So they put on a brand new boots and broke them in, and it's pretty rough.
Mine wasn't too bad because I had ordered some of the memory foam cooling inserts for my tennis shoes, and I took them out of my tennis shoes, put them in my boots. So mine wasn't too bad, but Cindy's, it rubbed her feet raw.
Yeah, I wore my trusty Rocky Gore-Tex boots that I've had for years now, and they never let me down, and they're comfortable. But yeah, talking about boots on the ground, the very first day, we just kind of went in for broke. We were just all over the place. We're hitting these sites. We started out in Mount Pleasant Cemetery, and then we went down and we seen what they call the bunkers, which we debunked that whole thing there with the bunkers. People said that they were bunkers, and they're not.
Yeah,
they're not. There's water cisterns there. These are concrete. These are cinder block. They're not concrete. They're cinder block buildings that kind of look like pump houses to me, where they had water pumps in there. And I believe they were pumping wells, filling water cisterns to supply a bathhouse down the mountain. Okay. And the reason I know that there was some sort of bathhouse down the mountain, because we went down there too. We went down by the lake. I'm sure everybody's heard about the story of the alleged massacre that happened there back in 1982.
Yeah.
Where a family of four killed in their camper by something. I mean, we don't know who. Nobody's there. We know what supposedly two police officers told a clerk at a gas station.
Yeah.
And what the clerk told somebody, she come back and told her story, which from videos that I've listened to and stuff like that, they're saying that her stories were told in a fashion that like she was writing a book. And so it made it hard for some people to believe some of the stuff. But still, we have to assume it's valid. We don't know. The thing of it is, people will believe that there's an alleged cover-up. You can find no trace of this.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yet, there's so many people have talked about this story and have come through, including one TVA officer on his deathbed. Well, not actually on his deathbed. He was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he said he has to get this off his chest, and he told the story. And there is a YouTube video on YouTube about that, where he tells the story and he confirms that actually happened. But so we went down there, and while we were down there at that site where the alleged massacre happened, we went into the woods and we found the big concrete pad where I did find water pipes coming out of the pad and stuff like that, where it was like a bathhouse. There were restrooms and stuff like that in there. The only things left is concrete pads there.
Yeah.
But there's two different areas that people say it happened at, but they're both in the same holler. They're both in the same ridge that cuts up through the thing. So, I mean, it's possible it was either one of them, but I believe that it was the one down by the lake. Can't say that for sure because I don't, that's all I know, but I know what I've seen. So we're in there and we're just jumping around all over the place. Well, our friend, we met another gentleman there at Mount Pleasant Cemetery, and his name was Randy, and his wife had an experience in also not in that area, but in another area near Russian Creek, where the Russian Creek campground was that is no longer there. Huge area, huge campground. The road on there is better than the highway that we drove to come into that area. And it's gated off. They went in, cut the telephone poles down, tore all the buildings down. They tried to erase this whole campground from the park.
Yeah.
The whole campground, Donna. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Hellbent Holler put a video out and they showed the area. But anyways, so we go down to where we were trying to make it in there the first day. We were trying to make it into that Russian Creek campground, and Mark took us down to Jones Creek. There's a boat launch down there, and if you park down there by that boat launch, you can go back to the left and go across the bridge where they said was unsafe. So that's why the reason that they closed that down. But anyway, so we make it across the bridge, and I'm talking to Randy, and I'm just talking to these two guys and Mark, and like I'm standing there and I'm videoing Randy, and I happened to look at Mark because he was saying something, and when I looked at him over his shoulder, I seen something silverish gray go from one tree in behind to another, and it was really fast, but it was really big. And I said, guys, I just seen something move. So we turn around, I put the camera over there, and I'm looking to see if I can see anything. And I don't see anything. And the guy said, let's do something different. Let's rush it. So here we go, crashing through the woods, straight towards it. Figured if we're going to get something on video, that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we looked around there for a good hour and a half. Never seen it. Never seen a sign of nothing. We did knocks. We did whoops. I mean, we did all kinds of stuff because I'm looking for Sasquatch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Doug and Trisha come in there behind us. They had walked down further down the road from us other three guys, and they make it in there and they stop, and they just so happen to stop at the exact same tree that I seen this damn thing come in from behind. The exact tree. And that's when Trisha's husband here did knocks, 3 knocks on that tree, and we didn't hear anything. So we start working our way back out, and during that process, my wife walks out ahead of us, and she turns around and she's taking pictures. She's just moving. She's taking pictures of everything. So in one of her pictures, when we got back home that evening, we noticed something different in one of them. We're like, what's that? So we zoom in as far on our phone. It was taken on a phone. It was taken on an iPhone 7. We zoomed in as far as we could on that phone, and we screenshotted it. And then we took that screenshot and we zoomed in more. And when we did that, we got this.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We got that. Can you not see it in there?
That's something
Yeah.
that'll make your heart race right there.
I about missed my britches. Now,
how far was that location from the Henson Cemetery, roughly?
it was down, if you go, below the Downer Cemetery. That's the cemetery.
So it was a little ways away.
That's the cemetery that we did the night investigation in on the 3rd day. This was in the holler directly down below the cemetery. If you go down below the cemetery, you cross the road. It was in that holler right there. So in this picture, if you look, you can see the triangular shaped head with the ears sticking straight out. Now like when a dog, like a German Shepherd or something like that, they'll hear something, they'll throw their ears out to the side so they're listening.
Yeah.
You can see the eye sockets. You can see the muzzle and the nose, the black nose on the end of it. You can see the arm.
Yeah.
And it's if you see that arm there on the right hand side of the screen, you can see the elbow, it comes up, you can see the neckline, the head, and where it comes up to the ears. That was something. That was truly something.
Yeah.
Let me go back to chat here again. JNR, I don't know if you missed me a minute ago or not, but we don't have time to bring you on the show right now. We will email you and get you scheduled back in to come back on the show at a later date, maybe even next week. But we can't do it tonight. I'm sorry. I apologize. But in this picture, I mean, I know it's blurry. You showed me a real picture that's not blurry. So this happens on the first day. Yours, the one that you found, this one here, this happened on the second day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The third day, on the third day, we went back in down Jones Creek where that photo was taken the first day, and we went in and found the exact same trees. We lined up the camera with the three trees. There were 3 cedar trees there. That photo, you have to look in between the trees, the trees to get that to come in. We went to the exact same trees. We lined it up almost perfectly. And I have those photos too. I don't have them uploaded to the show right now, but I have those photos, and you zoom in and that's not there. There's no sign of that.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, probably like
So we stand there. Okay. We're lined that up. So we get someone to stand there. And I walk back. Actually, Mark stood there first. I walked back in and I started looking, and we were trying to judge where that was at. Well, I found a tree. And I have video of all this, Trisha. It'll be in our YouTube video. I found a tree, and it lined up to where it was at. This thing was in a tree, probably 20, 25 foot off the ground, up in a tree.
Wow.
Because there is like some briar bushes and stuff there that you can't see through. But if you looked in that picture, it was over top of those. So when you come in behind them, those briar bushes are 8 foot off the ground. So we go back there, and I stand at this tree, and I hold my phone up in the air with my light on, and I just flash my phone side to side so he can see it. And he could see my light through the bush. So he walks back there to where I was at. This whole time while he's coming to me, I start looking at this tree, and this tree from the back side of it is skint all to hell going up it. It's chunks of bark.
Yeah.
There's chunks of bark stripped off of this tree, and I have those photos too, and those will be in the YouTube videos. I have those photos, and it's just tore all to pieces, and it's tore up way up higher than any of us could ever think about reaching. And so we judged by distance wise and stuff that, like we said, it was 20 to 25 foot up into the tree. And it wasn't there on that third day when we went there. There was nothing there.
Wow.
And we tried our best to debunk it. I mean, we went through the process. Like I said, Mark is a retired sheriff, and he was very, very thorough in this. I mean, to the point that it was really agitating, to one point, but I can understand why he did what he did. And so we could find no evidence to reproduce this photo whatsoever. It was just so interesting. I mean, I just, like, my mind was blown. And I thought that was as blown as my mind could ever be. Okay, until yesterday. But we'll get to that here in a minute. Let's hit another commercial.
I don't need it. Definitely don't need it. I need it!
Pull up to the curb like.
Okay, I'm sorry. Those are short TikTok videos that we did. Like I said, they're blowed up. So I've got to fix them for YouTube viewing and such. But,
Can I just add something about that? When
Yeah.
we went there to try to debunk it, when he found that tree and those marks on the tree, I just want to put it out there that I have a video. I was watching him the whole time recording. He did not touch this tree. He didn't have anything on him to make these marks. He was about a foot, maybe a little bit further than a foot, away from the tree looking at it. Never touched it. These marks were in the tree. And they were some pretty mind-blowing marks.
Oh yeah, they
They were
it was-
very.
it was something else. Yeah, I have to convert the images before I can show them on the show because they're little live photos. So I have to put them through a program to convert them to a JPEG or a PNG, and I didn't have time. We literally just got home.
I just
Well-
wanted to say that because, you'll have people, he probably had like some sort of tool and he was probably scraping the tree and stuff. No, I was close to him. I was filming him the whole time. He never touched that tree. Never touched that tree.
No, and I would never do anything like that. I mean, we're doing this, and it's costing me, quite a bit amount of money to go in here and do this. And there's for no reason would I ever want to fake anything. I want everything to be 100% genuine. And if I thought anybody was with me, was faking something, I'd send their ass home.
Yep, 100%.
They would get a quick ticket out of the holler that we were in, and courtesy of my tree knocker. But right there, he's seen that tree knocker. It's pretty impressive. It's a big, solid piece of oak axe handle, hand carved axe handle.
I told him my title as a tree knocker is being past 10.
Oh yeah,
Because I've done it for years.
He knocks a good tree. So we have another special guest, and she's going to remain off the camera. So Trish, if you want to get her, and she wants to tell you about something that she found, and I have to find it here. I'm pretty sure I have this print. Yeah, I do. Okay. It's my granddaughter. She's not going to be shown on camera just because of limitations with YouTube and Twitch. So, but you can still be able to hear her. But so she was. They went in there prior to our investigation. Trisha and her husband and my grandchildren had went in several times to look around. And y'all, I mean, most of my audience, if you haven't heard Trisha's story, then go back into our YouTube, and it's the very first video. She tells her story, what happened to her there in Mount Pleasant Cemetery. But Trisha, you just let us know when you're ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here's what she found. It's a footprint. If you can't tell, it's a footprint.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good
Oh, yeah.
size of footprint. Did y'all do somebody's foot in it as a comparison?
No. She saw it, took a picture of it, showed me, and we went on. We just went down there for a family picnic at Sugar Bay. But I'm gonna let her tell her story because this is She found this. She's getting credit for this because this, for a 12-year-old girl to walk out and find this, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, JC, her name is JC. You tell them your story.
So we were going down to Sugar Bay to have a picnic, and like we were gonna go fishing and everything. So my dad and my brother were already like setting up our fishing poles like down by like the water, and they were already like casting one of the poles. Me and my mom went a different way to get down there so we didn't have to walk through the mud. And when we were walking, we were like we were still looking for footprints. Like we were looking for them because we that like the other day she was already hunting, like not hunting, but like already looking for stuff. So we were just looking anyways because we were bored. And we didn't find nothing until she started walking in front of me, and I stopped and I saw it, and I didn't. I thought at first I thought it was just like somebody like put something there, but then when I actually looked at it, it looked like a huge dog print, like a huge footprint. And I took a picture of it, and then I was like, at first I was like, I don't really think it is anything. But then when I showed my mom it, she told me to take her back to it. We went back to it. She like described what it could have been, and maybe like how it like was it laying there, or like she said that you said it was like
I said it was like it was
laying sitting there.
kind of laying, like prowling down. It's because it got the, and you can see in the picture like the claw marks and the actual paw, but the other end of it you can see like the arm, like a dog's arm and the elbow, but the size of it, it was huge, massive. It was massive. So it was like it was kind of bedded down, possibly eating a fish or whatever it could have been eating. Might not have been eating, might have just been laying there. But I have 2 German shepherds, and when they lay down like that, they don't make a print that big.
Right.
Yeah, and my shepherds are they're big shepherds.
Right. So we have this print. And Donna, do I have your permission to show your Dogman prints that you shared with us?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So here is a print that Donna shared with us. Here's another print that Donna shared with us. And here's another print that Donna shared with us. Now the thing about those prints, what was in common with this one here?
Mm-hmm.
3 big toes.
Yeah, you can see that.
3 big toes in the
You
back.
see the front toe.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this one right here.
Now that was just the toes,
Yeah.
but that was in the snow and it had melted. But it came back and had a heel on mine. Also, I don't know if you got the picture of the stone foot, the petrified foot that I found.
I don't have it in here at this point. I wasn't prepared for it. I'm not on my PC at home. I have it on it there.
That is, do you have that down here with you? That's the same, like I said, where that footprint was and where that petrified, it's stone, it's there's 2 of them, but the one is independent and it's about yay big. And that's also in the same waterfall where I found the hair at.
Yeah,
so those
yeah,
are from the same area.
yeah. Donna has a piece of hair that's about 6 or so foot long.
Yeah, it's about 6 foot long, 2 feet wide. There's no scalp with it. It's just hair, like very thick, coarse dreadlock type. I took it to a taxidermist and had them look at it, and he said, "Well, it's definitely hair. Can't tell you what it is." He said the closest thing that he could think of would be like a beefalo or something like that, but it was way too long to come from that. And of course, we don't have anything like that where I live. I'm in southeastern Ohio, so I don't have anything like that.
Yes.
And it was buried in the sand, and dirt at the waterfalls. So I don't know what it was. Still don't for sure.
So James and Leslie, I
Is
know
it-
you don't know anything about Donna there or anything, but Donna's pretty famous in this area. Oh, in this field, she's done several interviews on different podcasts and stuff. And to keep her from telling her story, let's hear it.
She was just a child, 6 years old, in the Shawnee Hills, where the stories are told. Her father whispered, "Don't be afraid. The watchers are near, but they won't betray." The watchers moving through the trees, shadows dancing in the midnight breeze. Donna saw their eyes in the fading light, living with the mystery of the endless night. He left his tobacco on a weathered old stump. She saw a figure rise, massive and blunt. Not just a creature, but a spirit too. Watching the people, watching the truth. The watchers moving through the trees, shadows dancing in the midnight breeze. Donna heard their voices, soft but strong, a melody of legends carried on. Some call it myth, some call it lies, but she saw fire in their glowing eyes. Her heritage tied to the sacred ground. The watchers walk and they make no sound. The watchers moving through the trees, shadows dancing in the midnight breeze. They've been here forever, and they always will. Guardians of the mountain, silent and still. Donna tells the stories she's seen their face in the haunted woods, in that hidden place. The watchers are waiting just beyond the flame, and the world will remember Donna Copeland's name.
This song has so much power on it.
I love it.
It has so much power. James, if y'all go back and watch, I don't know if you've watched any of our videos, but Donna has her stories on here, and it's just amazing. It really is how Donna's lived her life surrounded by the Watchers, or surrounded by Sasquatch. Generational. It's this went through her family for generations that they live with them. So it's really amazing. And I don't know, Donna. I really appreciate you so much. I really do. I mean, I've only known you now for about a little over a month, and I met you for the first time on the NCI show, and everything. But I just feel a connection with you,
Absolutely.
and I think that we're both connected.
Yep.
And so, um, because now listen, I say that we're both connected. Donna's heard my story. I've told it to her. And I had some really weird stuff happen to me when I was around 13, 11, 12, 13 years old, and abusive family, abusive stepfather, and we had rocks being placed out in our yard. I'd get in trouble for it because my stepfather thought it was me doing it, and it wasn't me. And then we had something to hit underneath of our house one night with so much power that it split the floorboards up from under the floor. And it's really, if you think about it, I get chills thinking about it. But Donna's had some interesting stuff happen to her too. And I believe that, like, honestly, I believe that I'm connected to whatever this is out there in these woods. And it feels my presence when I'm there. The reason I say this is, and I don't want to sound like I'm a lunatic, okay? I'm not fruity. But out of 5 days, we've had 4 encounters. 2 Dogmen, 2 Sasquatch. And my computer's making noises here. 2 Dogmen, 2 Sasquatch. So we actually, if anybody's watched YouTube and they've researched any at all about Dogmen, they know the name Martin Groves. Martin Groves he's done so many podcasts. He's like Donna. His name is out there. If you Google him, you will find Martin Groves. Martin Groves is to the Dogman what Donna Copus is to the Sasquatch. And Martin had an experience here with his partner while he was a deputy sheriff in Tennessee. I believe it was Tennessee or Kentucky. I can't remember what state he was a deputy in. But still yet, they were in the Land Between the Lakes. And Donna, I don't know if you've seen much of the Land Between the Lakes, but this is kind of like what you're looking at in here. These are the lakes. This place is an extremely gorgeous area.
Yes,
Everything
it is.
about it. These woods are just magical, Donna. I mean, they really are. I'm from West Virginia, and you don't get much prettier than the mountains of West Virginia. And I'm just going to put that out there. But this place is gorgeous, and we had someone, I think it was Randy, that said that the LBL, you can be in one place and you go to another place and it's like you're in a completely different area. You have tons. Yeah. There's bison and elk and everything running on here. Okay. Then you'll go into areas where it'll be mountainous. Okay. And be dry. Then you'll come into like marshlands. And I mean, and it's just amazing. It really is. It's a shame that it's so beautiful, and also it's so dangerous too. Because we were in an area today where there was a bow hunter that was found dead in that area.
Oh my!
And but we went into Martin Groves' attack site. Okay, it's confirmed. It is the area that Martin Groves and his partner were in when they had their encounter. Hellbent was taken in there, Martin Groves, and it is the confirmed area. as soon as we step into the woods, Don. And I'm telling you because you're a hunter, okay? So you're going to know if you shoot 11-point buck, are you going to leave the head laying there?
No,
No. You
no.
can't eat the horns, but they look pretty hanging on that wall, don't they?
Well, when I hunt and when I kill, there ain't nothing we don't use.
Right.
'Cause right to the bones, we make knives.
Yeah.
Our bone knives are made from the legs of the deer.
But
So-
most hunters, they get this big, massive rack. I mean,
Oh,
this
they
thing,
do it.
I've got it on my video and I count the points. It's 11 points.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's a nice rack. Trisha's still jealous because Mark found it.
Very.
But listen, there was no other bones there. No bones. There was a head laying there. Okay. Later on, up in the holler, Mark finds lower jawbone to a pig.
Oh,
No other bones. Lower jawbone, and they found the deer head. Okay.
mhm.
So and look, I don't want to make this show about me, but anything like whatever this, what's in the LBL here is kind of seemed like it's like focused in on me this whole week. Am I lying, Trisha?
No.
I mean, it's just like I seen the flash of what we can say was that Dogman in that photo on the first day.
Yeah.
Okay. Where she takes that picture, that was right there. If you see the original picture, which will be in the YouTube video, see the original picture, that's right in behind where I was sitting.
Yeah, we were all standing there. It was me, Doug, and Mark. Or not Mark, but Randy. And we were just sitting there talking about what he had saw moving. And Cindy snapped that picture. And when we got home, we got to looking at it. And I'll be damned. There it was. It was watching.
So we're in Martin Grove's attack site area, okay? Which I was like a little schoolgirl, I was just sitting there just twiddling my fingers because I can't believe I'm in this area because this is like secretive type of deal. You know what I mean? They don't really tell. You have to be in an inner circle in order to get into this area.
Yeah.
And so I'm in this area. The first guy that I get to start taking the shows around knows exactly where it's at because he was present around the people that told him exactly where to go. So I'm in there. When we go in, they find the head and everything. Everybody shoots off to the right. The whole group shoots off to the right. And I'm looking and I can see a game trail going out to the left, straight in front of me. Knowing what I know, I'm a hunter. Predators are going to follow the game trails.
Yep.
That's where the game is.
Mhm.
That's where the is. Okay. So here I go. I just go bebopping over through that way. And there's a dry creek bed there. So I'm following the game trail, which follows the dry creek bed. And I get up into the gap of the holler where it opens up there. Okay. And there are just down trees everywhere. Down trees. Cover like you would not believe.
Mhm.
And it's thick. So going in there, you're having to duck down, go under trees and stuff like that, briar bushes, just everything. If you had to run, you were just shit out of luck. Because there was no way you were running back out of there. No way. So I'm up in there and I get up and I when I walk through the woods and everyone will see, well, I'm a fat guy anyways. I'm a big guy. But so I walk 25 feet and I stop. And I just video all around. And I'm quiet. Sometimes I talk to the camera, telling them what I see or whatever, and I'm quiet. And then I'll walk another 25, 30 feet and I stop. And I'm looking for movement. because I'm a squirrel hunter. I told the guys that today. I hunt squirrel. And one thing you have to learn to be a successful squirrel hunter is that you have to be watching for movement, because they're not standing out there with waving wands, and stuff like that. I'm over here. You have to watch for these little fellers. So my eyes pick up on just the least little tiny bit of movement, because that's what a successful hunter does. So I get up in there and I'm standing there and I have it on video. I hear a knock, and it's probably 100 or so yards up in front of me. Okay. And I'm like, okay. I tell them on the radio, when we're squatching and stuff, I wear an earpiece, so my radio is not being broadcasted all over the woods, And I tell them, I hit my button, and I tell them, so I just had a knock about 100 yards in front of me. So I'm there, and I have Doug. I said, Doug, won't you give us 3 knocks? Space them out, give us 3 knocks. So, and he does. I can barely hear his knocks. They were that far away from me. Barely hear. And honestly, I reviewed the video, and I can't hear them on the video. Their knocks. They were that far away. And the reason I guess I could hear them, because have you seen that TV commercial? They have that miracle ear thing. It looks like a hearing aid in your ear, and you can hear it. You can hear a mosquito at 50 yards with this thing. Okay, they are that good. Every little crunch, a chipmunk will drive you insane if you have one of those in your ears. But so I wear one of those in my other ear. Okay, so I can hear everything that's happening all around me. And I think that's why I could hear their knock. They're far away. But if I'm there, and Donna, you know that feeling when something's watching you.
Yep.
Okay? I got that feeling. And we had to go and meet James. We had to go meet James at noon to go into his area where he had his thing. So we were limited on time. This was the second day. It wasn't the first day. This was the second day, James, that I got this. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. It was the second day because we had to meet James. And I said that on camera. I said, look, I'm going to start working my way out of here because the gentleman that we have to meet and interview at noon. And so I'm hearing something walking in the woods, and I'm not admitting it on camera that I'm a little nervous, okay? Because I'm up in here by myself, and I got a Dogman photo the day before, okay? So I'm a little nervous, and if anybody that has any sense at all would be nervous, okay?
Absolutely, I agree.
Yep.
So,
Oh yeah.
I was trying to look to see what Cindy said here. But, oh, yeah, she was talking about different vegetation and different bugs in the LBL when you go into different areas. It's just like different continents. But anyways, so I'm hearing something walking in the woods, and I say it on camera. I heard something walking up there, and stuff, and I'm looking around. So I turn around, and I start to walk out. And I flipped my camera around into selfie mode. And I stayed on camera. I said, I got my camera in selfie mode, and I'm talking to the camera. I said, because I want to watch behind me. And I said, guys, I said, when you're walking through the woods like this, I said, you should get you a GoPro and put it on your back, body camera or something. I said, because when you move, they move.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got it behind me. And I'm holding this camera up here. I got my phone. I'm holding this camera up, and I'm walking out, and like I'm talking to the camera, and I'm talking about how beautiful the LBL is. I said, and I encourage people to come in here and hike and fish. And when I said fish, boom, another knock.
Yeah.
And it's like 40 yards behind me. And it's loud. I mean, and it's on camera. You can hear it plain as day. As soon as I said fish, I got that knock. So I stopped and I tell them again, I said, I got another knock. And and I'm listening and everything. I stop the camera, I flip the video back around, and I turn around and I start videoing. And I'm just holding the camera, I'm holding it with both hands, and I'm just holding it still, pointing towards where the knock comes from. Okay. So I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything at all. And so I worked my way out and I put it back in selfie mode again. And I'm walking, and then I go out and I end the video when I get down next to the end where I left them at, where they had walked up in there. And I figured, I'll just sit right there and wait on them because they wasn't too far from coming down. So that evening, I sent that section of video to Rob Effler. Okay, he's not here tonight because he's in South Carolina at the Bigfoot Festival down there.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
But I sent that to Rob. Well, I called Rob. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? I called Rob. Was that when it was, Trisha? No, it was yesterday. I called Rob, wasn't it?
It was yesterday because I started going through the video.
Before we left out to go. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before yesterday because it was the day that we was going to go out for the night visit. So,
the night of the harvest.
It was Wednesday because JC had wrestling practice and we took you guys on a tour through where we live.
But anyways, I call Rob and I'm talking to Rob about all this stuff, and everything. And I sent him that video and he's like, hey man, I was meaning to call you. He's like, it's a good thing you called me. He said, when you were walking, he said, you had your phone in selfie mode. He said, something was moving over your left shoulder. I'm like, what?
Oh.
I didn't see it, but I hadn't really watched the videos yet because we got so much stuff. We haven't had time to watch everything. So at this time, Patricia almost broke her neck to run back here to the computer to watch that video. And she had everybody else in the whole house was in here, to watch this. And that's why I'm in the garage right now. I'm in their garage. And I'm probably giving all the neighbors a good show. They're probably all lined out on the sidewalk listening to me. But anyway, so I'm still in the kitchen. I'm like, well, if she finds something, she'll let me know. And they're going through that and all that stuff. And I get off the phone with him. I come back here and I'm watching a video and I'm standing over Trisha's shoulder and I was like, what's that? Something moved right there. And it's small on the video. It's small, it's just, but you can see it move. And I'm like, okay. So we print screen the computer. We pause the video. We print screen the computer. We pull it up. And we're going in there and looking, and what's interesting, I mean, we go in there and look, and we get this picture right here, looking in here, and I'm like, well, what's that? What's that back there in the background? So we pull it up. This is not the photo. This is the photo, but this isn't the copy of the version of the photo. Let me see if I can grab it here real quick. I pulled the wrong one. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I see something in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see
You do.
two dark eyes
See,
and the white shape.
Yeah, this one here is that I took this picture off the computer screen, so that's why you see those pixels. So look, no, that's not it either. Shit, that's your graveyard photo.
I think you had two movements in that video because when I was going through it, Michael was sitting next to me. Me and him both jumped out of our seats and went, "Did you just see that?" And
that
first movement, it would have been walking behind you and came up on your left over your shoulder. So I think it was the same thing, but it started from like behind you and then walks to where you saw it over your shoulder.
I hope this one is good. Let's see. I got so many, but I know this one here shows it back in there. Now looking in between these two trees right here, if you look straight up, you see its head back there. Its head is in behind the green foliage, so you can make it out. And if you look down, you can see its arm and everything. Middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Middle of the screen, you see a little black area right there. That's a foot.
Yeah.
We see that foot moving in the video.
Mm-hmm.
You see that foot moving in the video. And that's still the same. That's blow up. I have it on my phone. It'll be on the YouTube video. Y'all guys can see it from that. I mean, this photo is the same, except it's more pixelated.
Burn medicine. The baby stuck her hand through wood stove.
Yeah, it's the same damn photo. I will look again though, because I have it backed up several different places. See, it's
Look in the cabinet. My baby got her hand burnt.
oh no.
I mean, she stuck her. Well, I have wood stove. It's not really burnt. She just kind of scared her a little bit. But
Let's look here real quick. I just let me see if this is the picture. Can you see it better there?
Addie, tell her to spray, honey.
That picture is a little better. Where the hell did I save?
Yeah, the other one was better.
So for me, it's easier to see on the other one. That's zoomed in, and you can't see all other body parts and details because all I can see is the face in the picture.
But I see in every single picture there's some kind of like a ring, like around the like a dream catcher, like spider web.
Yeah, so
Right, but that could
if
be
you look at
just
that
me.
picture there, then look at this one. Well, you can see, like you said, you can see the eyes and stuff in there. I know this picture is
Yeah,
horrible.
you can see the face.
I don't have time to hook up.
I
everything
can
to-
definitely.
But anyways, we see this moving,
Yeah.
and then we pull this up, and we have this video, and it's the other picture. You can plainly see it's a full blown Sasquatch. It's a watcher.
Yeah.
And I sent you the picture. I sent you the picture.
Yeah, I got. You sent me some.
Yeah.
He actually brought me in. This is the foot. I don't know if y'all can see it. Try to get it. Can you see the toes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is
You see
Yeah, the outline of it. Yeah.
you can see it. This is
Yeah.
the back part. There's two of them, but you can actually see the nails.
Yeah. That is a fossilized foot that she
Yeah.
has there.
That's. I called it a hand before or a foot, whatever, but you can see. And it's rock. It's a petrified, turned to stone. The other one is like it's the same thing, except it's in a rock where it was stepped down in the rock, and that's where it died or laid, or that's where it went into. This one here, he was able to take out independently. So, but this is the same. We got this at the same spot. The footprints came from last year, and where the hair came from, and we've gotten numerous different artifacts from that area.
But it just goes to show you these things been around for a while.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm really disappointed in that Sasquatch photo though. I don't know how I got the wrong one. You couldn't really see on the drive that I had it, but so we have that encounter. Okay. So yesterday we go into Russian Creek, where that campground is that I spoke about, that they tried to delete from the area, and
Yes.
we knew that Mark and his group were. We didn't know that's where they were at, so we come pulling in, and Mark's truck is parked over there by the gate because they have this gated off. You can't drive down there. So and it's a good mile and a half walk into the place. And my fat hind end was just a huffing and a puffing because I mean it's a long walk. But anyways, we get in there and Doug here he sees like what he thinks is a hard hat over in the bushes and everything. So he walks over there and he's like whoa, wait a minute, you know, these are like two helmets and a backpack. And I'm like, what? So I walk over there and I look and I see this one helmet and it's got desert sand camo on it. And I'm like, that's got to be Mark's because he has a vest that matches that. And so we're out of the weeds, and here come Mark and his group, Night Vision Paranormal. They come up. They're in there investigating with a drone and stuff. Mark has a photo that he took right there off of Russian Creek. And so they're in there taking the drone back in with a big stick, trying to measure, you know, and all this stuff. Something, you know, something of known size so they can put in there, you know, and all this. So I'm standing there talking to Mark, and like my wife and my daughter and Trisha there, they go off onto their own, and it's me, Mark, and Doug, and Mark's daughter and son-in-law, they go ahead and walk. They're walking out. Mark's standing there talking to us. So we're standing there talking. I turn the camera off because we're just talking, you know. And so and I happen to look to the side and I see what I thought was Trisha walking down in the woods down below us. And I look at Michael and I said, what's Trisha? And I look over at Michael. I said, what's Trisha doing walking down there in the woods? And he's like, well, they went down the road. And I said your name, Doug, didn't I? Okay. Mm-hmm. But anyway, everybody, this is Doug. Okay.
You said his name wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said his name wrong. But anyways, he says they walked down the road. And I'm like, and I look back over, I'm like, what the hell who in the hell is that walking then? and I seen it. I looked at it for a good 5 seconds, but my mind told me that it was Trisha walking because Trisha was in a black long sleeve shirt. The Monsters Unleashed t-shirt that's in that video. Sweatshirt. She's in that shirt. And my mind tells me, because I just see that black and I think it's her. And it wasn't. And it was walking. Normal walk, plain as day, walking. So I look down to get my camera all set because I'm going to get me a video of this. And I get my camera up and I look back and it's not there. So we're like, same thing as we're going to do with the Dogman. Let's rush it. We're wide open. We're hitting in those woods. And everything. I figure if I'm going to get a picture, that's how I'm going to get it. Because if it's going to try to disappear on me, I need to try to get there. So we go into the woods, and we both of us get to the wood line. Mark's up to my right, up above, and I'm going in straight towards where I seen it. And he comes in. So we both stop at the wood line, and I got the camera, and I'm just looking around with it, you know. And honestly, we haven't looked at those pictures yet.
No.
So, or that video. And Mark's like on the radio, he's like, I hear it walking over the hill. He heard it when it stepped over into the next holler. And it's thick right there on the top, briar thickets and stuff. He heard it go over. So I'm like, man, okay. So we look around for a little bit and everything. And I holler at Trisha on the radio and I said, listen, I said, I seen it. And Mark heard it come down over into the hollow. It's coming towards you. I'm telling on you here, Trisha. So Trisha's got video. When I told her that on the radio, she starts praying.
I did. I said a prayer.
She starts asking for protection.
About a 5-minute prayer. And then I started talking to it. And I told it. I said, hey, I'm not here as a threat. I said, I'm here as a friend. I'm here to learn about you and how we can coexist. And I said, dear God, place your hand above me and Cindy for protection. And in Jesus' name I pray. And at that time we heard movement. Like I made Cindy. I said, hey Cindy, I said, put your back facing my back. I said, you cover backside of us, left and right. And I had my camera set up because I was doing a video about the area. And my camera was facing the left of me so I could focus in front of me and to the right. And I told my dad, I said, go ahead and send Michael down here because I'm hearing something move. I don't know what it is. And Michael comes down.
You mean Doug?
Doug. I keep saying his middle name. We call him by his middle name, Doug. He gets mad because we call him Mike by his middle name. But his first name's Doug. He don't like Doug. But we're calling him Doug anyways to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
So Doug comes down, and about 3 minutes after Doug gets there, this whiffed. I mean, this metallic, sulfur, nasty smell just hits me, makes me sick. Sick. I grabbed this roll of Mentos out of my pocket, and I put about 4 of them in my mouth because I was going to throw up. So I tell my dad about it. And this whole time, we just hear things crashing in the woods and like footsteps. And I'm telling myself, there's a group of hunters that just went down up above us. This is probably them. I don't think it was. But it was, I mean, when he told me it was headed our way, I felt okay. I just wanted to have our head on a swivel, cover every area around us, so we weren't taken by surprise. And I wanted this thing to know that we weren't a threat. And the hair on my arm was standing straight up talking about it. And I felt that exact same way. And with that smell, I tell you, I couldn't get it out of my nose for about an hour. I was nauseous pretty much for an hour after this had happened.
So on the radio, I tell Trisha, I said, Doug Michael is on the way. And Mark and I said our goodbyes really quick. Like, okay, Mark, catch you later. And I start down the hill. He's well ahead of me. You can hear on her video, here comes Doug. And you can hear his feet, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, he was running.
Yeah, he was running. He's in pretty good shape. And he's running. I've got my camera going. I start out that way. I get out, I go over, and the holler, it's a deep holler that comes in. And I hear the noise on camera. And I haven't checked to see if I've got it on camera yet. But and I look down there and I think I see something black down by this tree. And I stop and I zoom my camera in as far as it'll go. And I'm looking and I don't see it now, So I just look around with my camera zoomed in for a while and I'm like, well, I need to get down to her. So I go down that way. And then she tells me that she smelt it. And that holler swoops down, but it comes back up across the swag. up to the road. Where you get up there and the road forks. So we talk and all this stuff, and we're taking our time. We're working, both sides of the road, and we're listening, and we don't hear anything. We get to that fork in the road, and I told him, I said, we need to go to the left, because I was determined to make it all the way down to the lake in that campground. I'd made it in there that far. I wanted to go down to the lake. But this thing had other plans for us. So we get to that fork, we start down that way, and we're talking, and I look and I see something move to the top of the ridge to the right of us. I seen something move briefly. And I'm like, I see something move. So I've got my camera on it at this time. And I start walking down that way, and I'm looking up onto that ridge and everything, because I'm trying to get a clear view to where I seen. And I seen what I thought something go up a tree. Okay. So I see this tree, and I think something I can see dark up in the tree. So I go down to where I can get a closer view, because these cell phone cameras, I'm using my cell phone, and they don't zoom in very far. So I work my way down, but I never take my eyes off of it. And I'm working my way down to try to get in closer. Well, when I got down closer, you can look at this tree, and I show them on the video, you can look at this tree, and it's like, I got a motorcycle in there, noisy.
Yeah, I'm
You
so
can look
sorry.
at the tree, and it looks like it's a huge nest. It's like tree top. It's not the branches off of the tree. The tree is well and alive, but there's broken like limbs with dead leaves and all that stuff up in this tree, and it's well covered. It looks like a nest for a pterodactyl. It's huge, but you can't see anything. And at this point, I'm trying to video this, and I'm trying to debunk this video. I said, well, maybe it was one of these big birds, because they have these ospreys here, and they're huge. I said, maybe it was one of these big birds I've seen or something. Well, not really thinking. Ospreys don't roost up in trees. They don't go up in trees. But so I'm videoing this, and then I get this feeling. My mind tells me it's time to leave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get this feeling. My mind tells me you need to leave. At this time, when I'm thinking this, Trisha says we need to go. She says we need to just go ahead and get out of here. So, I didn't want to give up on this, because I wanted to make it down there. I wanted to see this full campground area, because I've seen videos of it on YouTube, and I wanted to experience that. But I'm like, okay, let's go. And we start working our way back out. And it didn't take us that long to get out of there.
No, I felt like we were being surrounded, because at one point I had set my phone up, my tripod, to face the holler where he originally saw something. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna walk away from it, just let it film in there. And while I'm setting it up, he faces me, and he's telling me, I think we're gonna go down this way. Okay, so his back is towards the woods where that tree he's talking about was at. And both eyes saw this. Behind him, something very big just moved very quickly. And I said, hey, you just had something move behind you. And it was like after that, it just kept seeing things. Well, one after another, something was taking place. So I really felt like we were being surrounded. So when he said that, hey, it was almost like we said it at the same time. I think we should leave. It was that time got me. I mean, out of the days that we were there, that rushing creek, that got me. That was the only time while we were in there that I actually felt kind of scared. Kind of scared. I mean, we had multiple encounters days before. Nothing scared me that bad, and we had things happen. But that
And,
rushing creek got me.
and Don, I sent you that photo, and then you tell me to be cautious because it's breeding time. It's the breeding season.
Yeah.
And but I didn't tell you that. Now I did not tell you that something told me to get out of there. That I had that feeling, and you told me that they'll let you know
Oh yeah.
if
They'll
you
let you know when
if you've pushed them
yeah,
too hard. They'll let you know.
yeah. You're
And
getting too close. You're invading a little too much. So yeah.
yeah,
And
well,
this time of year is kind of an iffy time too. So
yeah. Well, you had sent me that message that day. I got that message as I was walking out of there. That's why.
Yes, no hard servants.
Right there's why that lady right there is so important to me, because she knows, she knows, and like she knew. I think she knew we were in danger. I honestly do. Maybe not knowing, she didn't realize that, but she sent me that message in time for me to read that, because I walked out of there and I had cell phone service, and it showed up on my screen because I had my phone, horizontal. I'm like this, I'm taking video, and it's up on the side of my screen. It showed up, and there was that message there, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing that. I'm leaving. So
it happens like that sometimes with me. I get I just it's kind of like there's certain people I connect with. I can talk to them, and we have an automatic connection. And because I have that, it's kind of like you're become part of me. So I can kind of feel you're now kind of you're my family. So you've now become a member. So
and James, the main reason I
I
wanted
can
y'all,
relate to that.
yeah, the main reason I wanted you and Leslie on the show tonight, because I have your story on video, and it will be on the YouTube video. But I wanted you here because you're very interested in doing more research in this area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And I thought it was prevalent that I shared all of this with you right here. So you've seen what you've seen. But in a matter of 5 days, we haven't even got to the fourth thing yet. But in a matter of 5 days, we had four encounters in there. And like, man, be careful. Be really careful. And Donna said it best that when she sent me the message that these things don't show themselves to everyone. So you get people that say, well, I've hunted in there 20 years and I've never seen anything, or like I was in there yesterday. I was in the same spot and I never seen nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Donna's right. They don't show themselves to everyone. They choose who they want to show themselves to. Now, some people catch them off guard. I think they catch them off guard. These things are not, people sneak in on them unknowingly, and they see them and everything. And Donna are good natured animals, not necessarily the Dogman, because Donna's had an iffy experience with the Dogman too. But that Sasquatch themselves are peaceful for the most part. But they're just, Donna, if I'm wrong, you stop me. They're just like me and you. You have good people and you have bad people. You have extremely nice people that will do anything to help you. but you also have people that will do anything to hurt you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so if you're in here, you need to have your head on a swivel. You've been to Iraq or Afghanistan. Was it Afghanistan you were at?
Afghanistan.
He's been in Afghanistan and Korea.
So you know all about keeping your head on a swivel. And that's exactly what you need to do. And you need to have your little friend that hangs off of your side with you, because you just don't know, man. I mean, there's been people killed in there. And the government, listen, if something gets you in there, James, nobody will ever know they ever got you, because they're not going to let that story get out. They're not going to let that story give out. And so today, we'll get today. We got like 10 more minutes, and we done been on here an hour and 49 minutes. I told you our shows run around 2 hours. You get started, and it's like boom, 2 hours. And you're like, where in the hell did time go? But I try to keep them around that. So today, we went to Racetrack Hollow. You heard of it?
I've seen it on one of the maps.
So we went to Racetrack Hollow. Off the top of my head. The rumor is that in Racetrack Hollow there was a bow hunter found dead by unknown attack. Now the story and all that stuff, it didn't make major headlines, and from what we were told today is that the wife of this person requested that this story not be pushed all the way out there, names released and stuff, because of her own privacy, their family's privacy, because I guess he must have been a local.
Yeah.
So
that would make sense.
Driving in there, what was kind of eerie is this right there beside the road. When you drive into Racetrack Hollow, you're just driving in a dark hollow. And on some videos, YouTube videos, people call this dark hollow. So if you ever hear that referred on video about the LBL, Racetrack Hollow. Because when you drive in there, it's just deep forest on both sides of it, the whole trip in. We're driving in, and Mark mentions on the radio, he's like, look on your right. He's like, you'll see a single headstone. And there's this big moss-covered headstone right there in the wood line beside the road. And it's kind of eerie. So I'll look in this book that I have. You've seen the book, and this cemetery is not listed in there, so you don't know who it is. And we didn't stop to check out the grave, but Trisha's going to go back in there and get the name on it and all that stuff. But so we get down to where Mark says the area was, the general area there where they found the bow hunter. And as soon as we pull up, my 9-year-old grandson starts tripping balls in the back seat of the Jeep. I saw something. It was right there. Right there. I saw something. The kid has a freaking asthma attack. He is that upset. Now we're talking. Yeah, he's still upset. We're talking about a little boy. Now we had to take our kids today, to take the grandkids today, because we had no babysitters and any of stuff. So we wasn't going into areas that we thought we were in extreme. We
bring our 12-year-old daughter with us.
Yeah, well, also
we just want to do something fun with the kids today. Something we could maybe see something, but let them learn the woods and learn what to look for. And my son wanted to do tree knocks and stuff, so we wanted today to be kind of fun but beneficial for us as well.
Yeah, we weren't taking them crashing up through the woods with them or anything. We were planning on sticking on the roads today. We went and seen, this old farm place and all that stuff that they did, big farms, hay fields that they cut hay. And and we went out by the visitor center and all that stuff. You know, we did not intend on going and taking the kids trekking through the woods with them.
Yeah.
But we're pulling up. There's a creek crossing. You have to cross a creek with water in it, and it's actually pretty deep.
He was deep.
We pull up to that spot, and he just starts tripping on Trisha. I mean, he's in the back seat, and he's just losing his freaking mind. I saw something. She hollers at me on the radio. She's like, Dad, Braden's seen something. I'm like, okay, well, just tell him to keep his eyes open. And, you know, I just think, you know, he's seen, I didn't know that he was tripping out like this. So I get out of my truck and I walk back, and they've got him back there, and he's hitting his inhaler and stuff, because this boy, he done had an asthma attack because of this. He done got so upset. That kid seen something. He's seen something. So I'm standing up there, and they start walking the other way. Well, Night Vision Paranormal, they have their children there, and I have my grandkids. And I'm like, okay, well, everybody, there's enough adults there to take care of everybody. I'm going to walk out the other way. I'm going to go in front of the trucks and go out that way, because I want a little bit of quietness. You know, I want to look around, and I just, with a bunch of kids there, you're not going to get any quietness. I don't care what you say. So I start walking. I didn't make it to the front of the truck when Trisha hollers at me on the radio. She's like, Dad, you need to come down here. So I'm like, I just swoop around, and I'm like, I guess I am going this way. And I start walking down that way, and stuff, and they're down there at the creek. And so I start going in there, and I guess Mark thought he saw something move.
Yeah, Mark pointed. He said, right there. And I guess he saw movement. He didn't say what he saw. He just said that he saw something. And I'm assuming that it was movement. And so that's when I told you, hey, you need to get down here.
So I get there, and I get in the creek bed, and I'm actually walking the creek bed, because there's water to one side and just rocks and gravel to the other. And I'm walking this because I see sand and stuff in there. So I'm looking for footprints. I'm going down there across from where Braden had seen something. And I'm going down looking for footprints. And I look behind me, and I got kids following me. It's like the Pied Piper, you know, he's out there and all the rats are following, you know.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and I'm like, no kids past this point. You know, I said, stop right here. No kids past this point. And I start walking up, and I'm looking, and I do see footprints in there, but they're human footprints. And they're pretty fresh. So somebody'd been through there. So I get down, and like Trisha's behind me, and I tell Trisha, I'm like, you do not bring the kids up into these woods here. I'm going in. So she stays. She listens to me. First time in her life she's ever really listened to me. I tell her. She listens to me, and I jump up onto the bank, and I take off up into that holler. And if there would have been something there, that's where it would have went. So I get up in that holler, and I do see a down tree up there with the tops and stuff, and it'd be a hell of a place to stand in behind and watch something. All kinds of cover. So I walk up in there, and I video all that, and I'm looking, and I don't see anything but a really nice buck rub. There's a really nice buck rub up there. And so I get up there, and you can hear where I'm so high up, you can hear there's other people into the same holler down there with us. And I hear engines, you know, running and stuff, and we're parked in the middle of the road. So I think, well, I need to go down and move my truck because I have the keys. And so I start down out of there. When I get down by the creek, instead of going back down the way I did, I said, well, I'll just walk about beside this creek, and it'll bring me back out to the road, and I can just cross there, crossing and going down. And I got down there, and I wasn't too far from where you come out, and I found footprints.
Wow.
And they were about 18 inches long. I didn't have my tape measure with me, and I know that's my bad. They were in my vest, and I didn't have my vest on. So I tell a radio, and I say, hey, look, I said, I've got some footprints. Where's Mark? And finally, Mark comes over there and stuff, and so does a couple of other guys. And we're looking at them, and it wasn't just one footprint. It was two footprints. It was three footprints. And it was like whatever had been right there had spent some time standing there. And it was moving around like it was looking. Well, not too far over from that, I seen some hog sign. There's some hog sign over there, but it was totally different from our footprints. And you could see toes. The footprints weren't deep enough to cast. Okay? They weren't deep enough to cast. The toes were kind of prominent in it, but you could see there were toes, and it was a big old long footprint. You could see the toes. And I think with the hog sign and the deer trail that's coming through there and that huge buck rub, I think it was a hunting area.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it was a hunting area, and it was hunting there. Yeah, it was, and it had been standing there and then moving around looking, and we might have disturbed it.
Yeah,
when we were coming in, we might have disturbed it, but so we worked our way back out. We had what, 7 kids, something like that there, 6 or 7 kids.
Yeah.
That were with us, and like I've done found this evidence. It's time to get these babies out of there.
They had 3 and
Yeah.
2 was 5 kids.
So we had 5 kids then.
Yeah.
So it's time to get these kids out of there. So we all decide we're going to go back because they're camping. They were camping down in Red Hollow at that campground, and so we went back there and we made sure everybody got fed and stuff, and then we came back home.
And
But go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you. When we were still at the racetrack hollow, my daughter had got on the radio. And this is just how freaked out my son was. My daughter was just dying to do a tree knock. And she radios my dad and she goes, hey, Papa, can I do a tree knock? And he's like, yeah. My son goes ballistic. I mean, tries to get physical with my daughter, taking the stick away from her. He's like, I said no. I don't want to do it here. Please don't do it here. I don't want to do it here. He was scared. His exact words was, it's going to come after us if we do a knock. He was that scared. And
So I honest to God believe this boy seen it.
I do too.
I honest to God believe it. And I found footprints, and those weren't old footprints; they were fresh.
Yeah.
So I mean, that something had been just in there, and it may have been because the footprints weren't where he seen it at, but maybe it crossed right there. And while it was there, it was turning to look to watch us because where the footprints were, and I got video. I videoed all of it and took pictures where the footprints were. You could look directly across and see our trucks.
Yeah.
And we stopped exactly where he said he seen it.
Yeah.
So you could see our trucks, and I believe it may have crossed over the creek there, and it stood around, and that's why the footprints, because you had your footprints coming in, but then there was like footprints where it stepped over, like it was turning back to look. So there was 2 different directions of the footprints there. And which is really cool because that's something you don't really see a whole lot. But I believe the kid's seen it, and he knows he's seen it. So this is a kid that was so, Donna, this kid was so excited to go. He had him a little camo, like military style vest on. He had his walkie-talkie on his shoulder. He's walking around carrying my knock. I got video of him doing tree knocks down at the big silo. and he was doing tree knocks and happy as a lark, and he sees this and flips plumb the hell out.
Yeah, he don't want to go back. He
Well,
don't even
Yeah,
want
he
to go
don't.
back to do tree knocks.
I can relate to that because the little girl that was kept sticking her little head in here, that's Addie. She just turned 8. And this kid's not afraid of anything. She grew up here in the country with me. She'd come out in pitch black. From the time she was little, she'd come from house to house. She'll come 3 o'clock in the morning. This kid is not afraid until a couple months ago when she saw that looking in. She won't spend the night with me no more. She won't talk about it, but it came. It's the picture. I actually got the picture I sent you out the bathroom window. That's what it is. And he's hanging around, and I'm pretty sure he's hanging around because of her. Now her house, because they don't. I have windows. My house is nothing but windows. I like seeing my woods, and I live in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Their house is the Amish high barns. So you put your own windows in. She bought them, these great big huge high barns, and we brought them in, set them up, and there's 2 together. So you know how big that is. Addie's room is in the center, so there's no windows around her.
Mm-hmm.
Her or her brother, either one, will not have a window in their room. Before, she didn't care. She stayed with me. But after that, she saw it, and now when it's dark, she's home. She won't stay in my house.
Yeah, she don't want nothing to do with it. That's understandable. I mean, that's understandable. After what I seen yesterday, I mean, I can totally understand that. The poor kids and Braden today. I mean, he was so excited to go. Then he seen what he seen, and it just terrified him. And I feel so bad. We talked to him. He rode back home with us, with my wife and I, and we talked to him and everything. And we told him, he says, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you. But you couldn't convince him that. So
if I hadn't had my dad, like I said, I was 6. But Dad intentionally, that's part of our heritage and part of our life. And I was taught, but that I was 6 when the first time I saw it. And, I was terrified. I'm a 6-year-old little girl digging Apache yellow root and this huge thing. But then I was very blessed with Dad. And honestly, with me and Addie, it's a little harder because Addie is autistic.
yeah.
So I have a little harder time dealing with. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll get it figured out. I have an autistic son too. He's 19 now, but he's the autistic children. They do things quite much differently than we do.
She's high functioning. She does everything. It just she has her own little ways of doing different things, but she woke. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and she comes in and she's like, "Mamaw, something's looking in the window, or something scary." And she'd taken the couch cushion off and put it up in the window in the living room, and she spent that night, but that was it. And she'd been with me ever since school was out. I mean, she'd been with me all summer. Like I said, I've raised a whole lot of kids. So kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, great nieces. I've had a lot. And I've tried talking to her, and she told me, she was trying to explain what she saw, but then she said, which I figured it out later. She's like, it had blood on its face and on its eyes. And then I thought, no, it's the red eye shine. Looking through, your eye shines red. So that's what she was calling blood. She thought it was blood. So like I said, it'll work out, but kids have a little harder time, and things are changing.
And we didn't even get into day 3, the cemetery. Y'all seen videos?
Yeah,
of
I'm
it.
looking forward to that. That was pretty good.
And the videos didn't show the house. Didn't show the house.
No.
I mean, shit your pants moments. I got up and grabbed my tree knocker, and I did it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I ain't never seen him move that quick.
So it's
I've
full.
got to see. I've got to go out there and see that. I've got to.
It's full harvest moon. We're in a cemetery.
Yeah.
It's about 11:30 at night, and I howl the whole time. Every time I howl, something responded to me. Not just by howls. The graveyard, the graveyard itself responded to me. It told me to beckon. The spirit box, we had a spirit box, and it told me to beckon.
Obvious.
It told us that
Yeah.
it told us that the leader was watching from above us. And then it told me to beckon. And Mark speaks up, and he says, "Your howls are a beckon to it." And I let out a howl, and like the woods lit up alive.
Yeah.
Wait till the video. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty
They-
That's
awesome.
the only sneak peek you're getting until the video comes out.
Yeah.
They like the cemeteries. Like I said, in our legend is, of course, we believe in reincarnation. The watchers stay at the cemetery. They watch over, waiting for the rebirth. But I've had, we had a cemetery here. It's from the early 1800s. It was a cholera, and it landslid into the creek, so they had to relocate it. And graves were open, and I went there. It was probably around 11 o'clock at night, and just to get kind of see if I could get any orbs or whatever, anything from that. And when I got there, of course, the creek is directly behind that cemetery where it slid down. And first I got the house. I have it on, I have the audio. But what got me was my daughter wouldn't get out of the car. She videoed from the car. She said, I'm not getting out. She will not. So she videoed from the car. And as I walked down, there's a big bank. It goes down into the creek, and there's an open grave. I walked to there, and I'm not seeing anything. I see nothing. But as we looked at the video, I'm sitting in the car, I'm looking at it. Over that bank, here comes this huge black figure up out. And you see it start on all fours, materializing as it's coming up. Now you can see the headlights and me walking in the headlights, so you see my shadow walking across. Behind me comes the other shadow. It comes up and walks behind me. So, and of course, like I said, we do a lot of night investigations. When I take out the group that comes here, they go to the cemetery a lot. And so it's been, over the last year, the cemetery's been very, very active. So.
Yeah. These cemeteries are something, Donna. This place is nothing but a cemetery.
Yeah.
From one end to the other, north, south, east, west, you step into the woods and you're in a cemetery.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many dead in my whole life. It's crazy. You drive by, oh, there's a graveyard. Oh, there's another graveyard. I mean, it's just everywhere.
Yeah.
And even in the water, Donna.
Right.
There's cemeteries in the water.
Yeah.
And but at that, we've been on here for 2 hours and 10 minutes and everything. So I want everybody to stay backstage if you don't mind, and after the show. But I also want to tell everybody that's watching, keep watch. These videos are going to start popping in. I'm going to do the videos, release them on Wednesdays. And so we'll have a video on Wednesday, and then we'll have our show on Saturday, and we'll talk about the videos on our show on Saturday. So you'll be able to leave comments live. And to the gentleman that's in London, England, we will answer your email and we'll get you scheduled in to come on. You said you had a 5-minute story, but no stories on our show are 5 minutes. So
5 minutes.
What's
Oh,
that?
50 minutes.
So we'll pump it out of you. I'm sure you got something else to tell us. But anyways, appreciate everybody watching, and till next week.
On strings, thunder rumbles, monsters awaken when the silence breaks. Shadow whispers in the darkest lakes, LBL's calling from the forest deep. We don't run, we lose no sleep. Footprints vanish in the midnight fog, something moves beyond the cypress log. Infrared lock, camera set, heartbeats echo, we're not done yet. It's more than myth, it's breathing proof. Claws on bark and shattered roof, growls beneath the forest floor. We're not alone anymore. Monsters unleashed, we chase the unknown into the dark where secrets have grown. LBL monsters, show your face. We hunt the truth, we don't give chase. 3 red eyes in the motion trap, bones arranged in a perfect map. Screams at dawn from the eastern trees, static buzz in the broken breeze. Legends breathe in the woods we roam, we carry the fear like a weighty tome. Voices whispering, inviting despair. Dead adventure, do you really dare? Monsters unleashed, we chase the unknown into the dark where secrets have grown. LBL monsters, show your face. We hunt the truth, we don't give chase. Crimson trails lead us through the night, dancing shadows, a primal fight. Footsteps echo with forgotten pain as the forest calls. We break the chain. Eyes like lanterns glowing and fierce. Myths become real and legends pierce. With every heartbeat, the tension grows. In the heart of darkness, the monsters show. Monsters unleashed, we chase the unknown into the dark where secrets have grown. LBL monsters, show your face. We hunt the truth, we don't give chase. The night is alive, the whispers ignite. We'll face the creatures that haunt the night. Together we stand, no fear to embrace. With courage ablaze, we'll hold our place. Monster of LBL, we're ready for war. In the silence, we find we're looking for. Monsters